Hello and welcome to the Nuclear Reactor, and today I'm happy to announce we'll be reacting to Perfect Cell, or What If Cell Turned Good, Episode 9. I hope y'all are enjoying my reactions, and let me know what else y'all want me to react to, and I hope y'all enjoy the new setup of the channel and stuff, so let's get on with this.
Don't worry, kids. I'll be your daddy. Your perfect daddy.
What the?
Hey guys,
that was
MasakoX
creepy.
here. Our What Ifs have plenty of good boys knocking around, as one of our tropes is taking characters who had had a more bold streak and then changing them into either the most endearing little cinnamon buns out there, or at least giving them the chance to shine, whereas prior to that, attention.
Also happy to say that before the next week even starts, I'm finishing this is the last video for the week. So I'm so happy to have all these done so I can actually enjoy my weekend for once.
They've been cascaded off into the background after just a few
Even though it's
episodes.
4 in the morning.
I'm looking at you, Raditz. I think we've done good with you. Today's subject has been created to be the perfect good boy. Perfecting being the operative word, of course. Goku didn't get the chance to redeem this one. This time, it was a mixture of Bulma and the wonders and marvels of the subject that is, of course, science! Good Boy 21 is back, but in a way that not many people saw coming, and it was certainly not an April Fool what if, which of course made people go even more. What? Now, if you're new to this story, let's give you a quick reminder, just in case you were confused or crying foul at the premise of this story. Cell turning good, Masako? How does that make any sense? Cell was created to be the perfect villain. The culmination of every baddie and character that had come before him. A perfect way to round off Dragon Ball Z in a way. So in a way, you're right. The Cell that we know of was still bested in the Cell games and never got the chance to redeem himself. He wasn't any different from what we saw in the original timeline here. This version of Cell that we're referring to is the one that was in the sublab of Dr. Gero. In this universe, Krillin and Trunks didn't vaporize this underground fortress of Gero, and instead informed Bulma of its existence, and she took the genetic creation back to Capsule Corp. Now before we continue, Crunchyroll has been so kind as to sponsor today's What If scenario. By going down to the description and the pinned comment, you have been granted a free 14-day Crunchyroll premium trial, so that you may...
But for all those who aren't, go do that. Go get your free 14 days. Love Crunchyroll. Just wish I had more time to actually enjoy it more often, but most of what I watch anyway, from now on, is going to be going on the channel after the beginning of the year. So, also, I have a new job opportunity coming up, so I'll have to see how that affects how the channel runs and stuff. But it has so many good benefits. I might actually be able to afford good equipment for once. So, we'll see how this works.
May sample the glory of unlimited anime, manga, and dramas. Go to crunchyroll.com/Masako and sign up, and brand new content is ready for you to enjoy just 1 hour after debuting in Japan. That is so much faster these days, I'll tell you. Of course you can relive the Dragon Ball Super journey on Crunchyroll, as well as checking out the 2 latest hot properties, one which is especially hot, Fire Force. Let's not forget Dr. Stone. That one certainly hasn't had a stony reception. This and other shows are in 1080p and can be viewed on any modern devices, including your iPhone or Android phone.
I've never heard of that, and I haven't seen anybody else reacting to anything like that. What is that? Can someone elaborate for me? So I can, because I'm trying to make a lineup of what I should react to, because I'll only be able to do like 2 anime series at a time. So I'm trying to figure out what's best. I'll make a poll out of it, and that'll help me figure out what to react to after Christmas. So we'll figure it out then. Hope y'all are enjoying this, so let's get on with this.
Or Android phones via the Crunchyroll app. Leave a comment down below about which series that you're watching right now. I've finished JoJo Part 5, of course, and now I'm really looking for a brand new show to find, so give me something off the beaten track. So go to crunchyroll.com/MASAKO and click on the link in the description or the pinned comment and get your 14-day free trial of Crunchyroll Premium now. Thank you. In the last part of this Good Boys adventures, we've just completed the aftermath of the tournament in Universe 6. In that competition, our boy had done fairly well, not embarrassing himself
I did say part 9, right? I'm just correcting, making sure.
in the slightest. Good Boy 21 started to think about having a pupil, in fact. He felt that confident. The trouble was, though, who was available to train who didn't have a master already, or was inclined to acquire one? Initially, he attempted to train the likes of Goten and Trunks. I mean, he had been their playmate for a very long time and knew them inside and out, but he then quickly realised that they're already quite skilled and they honestly treat him more like a sibling or a friend rather than a proper mentor. It just wouldn't work. Now, not that there is something inherently wrong about this, it's just...
Whoa, wait. It just hit me what he said at the beginning. So this cell's gonna pop out some mini cells then? I wonder how this is gonna go over.
Not the right kind of two-way relationship he was looking for. Over the days that followed the victory of the Universe 7 team, 21 began to feel a little less motivated to train, which took the likes of Gohan and Videl by surprise. He and 21 had been training like before, but there was something unusually melancholy about the Bugman's groove lately. One day, after another training session in which we saw 21 make lots of very amateurish mistakes, like he wasn't really trying, Gohan decides to intervene, taking him aside to the local ice cream shop to cool down from the morning workout on the young man's way to his job.
Yes, ice cream makes everything better, I suppose.
I mean, that's the Goku in his DNA for you. As the two of them begin to talk, 21 begins to share a little bit about why he feels so glum. He had started to realise that he was alone. There was nobody around that was exactly like him entirely. What with the way he was designed, he would in theory be able to live forever. Thanks to the way he was built, semi-mechanical and with Piccolo's DNA, he could live for centuries at the very least, maybe millennia. If that was going to be the case, then he needs to have more of his kind along for the ride. He wishes that, there could be more beings like him. Gohan starts to lick his ice cream and discloses that maybe he isn't the best person to talk to about this. Maybe it's best that he talks to his siblings in confidence, now that the three of them have actually reconciled. 21 does agree that even though Gohan's pretty smart, this might be for the best. Now, later that day, he shares his wishes with his sister. 18 is pretty surprised to listen to this. 21 didn't seem like the kind of person who would get so broody and want to be a dad. Granted, she had done, but she was mostly human and still had the same urges. But her
Urges. Okay, interesting. Sorry, paused it at the wrong time. But anyway, now I get where he's going now. All the ones that he loves and everybody will pass on, whereas he will live for millennia. So, what does he have to live for? He needs those of his own kind.
Her brother was mostly Bug and wasn't built to raise a family in the traditional sense. The Cell Juniors were more like clones, and he treated them as such. But at the same time, she does want to help him. And so she remarks that she had heard that the other guy could in fact create some offspring, but she also wants him to give it some deeper thought. This isn't something to get into lightly. If he decides to go along with this venture, his progeny will be his responsibility, not his playthings. This isn't like playing with Goten and Trunks 24/7. These children would look to 21, their father, for guidance and protection as they grow up. They would need care, love, and plenty of hugs.
I don't think there's anyone better that in this situation he could have gone to than Android 18. She knew just what to say.
21 agrees on that and decides to get some better education in the matter. Sadly, he doesn't go for the most optimal person on the first bounce, as you will soon find out. He starts with Goku, but even he remarks that he isn't the best when it comes to these matters, but he wishes that he would be.
I don't know, I just can't seem to quite get it. My sons are pretty great and all, but Chi-Chi is the better parent in all honesty.
He also remarks that Chi-Chi is the one doing the hard jobs in their family, while he mostly gets the fun parts like playing and training together with his sons. Well, sometimes working on the fields for the family's newly formed grocery business, which is actually going pretty well at this point in the story. Of
Really?
course, he says that he wants to protect his family as much as he possibly can, but he also informs 21 that he simply doesn't think he could train him in parenthood. He says that Vegeta is getting better at this, though. He might be worth talking to. 21 didn't really wish...
No, do not go to Vegeta. You get your head blown off. Vegeta's gotten a little bit better in Super, but he's still not the best parent.
Wish to hear this. He didn't really like talking to Vegeta since...
And Chi-Chi, for that matter, she's on the other end of the spectrum. So you need to find a happy medium.
It was less talking and more shouting in some of their more recent conversations, as you might be aware from the previous two parts. Now, reluctantly, 21 decides to visit Vegeta, who is left speechless after 21 openly asks him about parenthood and shares his wishes about becoming a father. 21 rolls his eyes and nods that indeed his thoughts were correct. Vegeta was about to shout again. However, the Saiyan Prince is mostly silent. For several moments, Vegeta is internally terrified, remembering the Cell Juniors running around back in the day. In fact, remembering himself fighting one. Although he's stronger now than he was then, he could take down the Cell Junior. The prospect of seeing more little Cell Juniors roaming the planet again was something he never expected to occur. Clearly he didn't read the manga. But he quickly reminds himself that 21 has proven to be a valuable ally, albeit a bit silly. He's a lot like Kakarot, but he is getting results slowly.
Whoa, wait, I just caught that. Did the Cell Juniors return in the manga somehow? Or what's going on with that? Can somebody elaborate? Because that sounds interesting, and I will gladly read through the manga if... You know what, I need to find the time to do so anyway, because I've never actually gone through the Dragon Ball manga. You know what, that sounds like it'd be fun. I'll look into it.
And it's pretty matter of fact with him. He says that no one is really ready to become a parent, and if he and Bulma would ever have a second child, little does he know, he would try to do better than he did with Trunks. Surprisingly, Vegeta wants to talk to 21 about this, and 21 is equally surprised that Vegeta wants to strike up a serious conversation that doesn't involve training or raising his...
Aren't we all surprised?
Raising his voice. The prince opens up a tiny bit more in 21's company, saying that he wasn't a model father for his son, but he has grown to respect his dual nature. He points out to 21 that a good father should encourage their offspring and not force things upon them. Allow their passion.
I wish my dad would have been like that. Love him, but you just didn't get it.
And drives that they manifest themselves to flourish and nurture them to do better every single day. And if they're willing to fight, then he can train them. But he should respect their wishes if they decide against it. 21 thinks about this for a moment. His children may not want to fight. He has to be prepared for that. He also brings to his attention that there will be times when he's going to be tired or annoyed with his children, or they will be annoyed with him, that they may argue with each other. And despite that, 21 should always remember about his duty as a protector of his family, not just the planet. He needs to ask himself a question. Is he ready for both good and bad? 21 isn't so sure, but he thanks Vegeta for his opinion. It is the first genuinely friendly moment that the two have ever shared. But there is one more person that he has to visit. His brother,
Chi-Chi.
Android 17. He knows that 17 is not only a child of his own, but he's also adopted 2 other children. He wants to know his opinion as well. At first, 17 thinks that his bug bro is joking, but he quickly discovers that this is most certainly not the case. 21 has a very serious tone and expression, which is very unlike him in normal situations. So 17 nods and decides to be honest. He tells him that he and his wife adopted those 2 other children because he knows how hard it is to grow up without a loving family and someone to look up to. And although they are a pretty odd bunch, they get along. Remember, bro, family's what you make of it. 17 makes him realize that all this time, he has been treated as a family member by Piccolo, Gohan, Goten, Trunks, Bulma, and the others. In a way, 21 already has a huge family. He also remembers
sweet.
Piccolo's tales of his father, who left him only revenge and a bad reputation. kind of like Perfect Cell did to him, without the revenge part. 21 calmly thanks his brother and disappears off into the distance. In fact, he doesn't go home. He just ventures off into the mountains, but not before swinging by Capsule Corp just for a little bit and asking Bulma for some advice about how you would make babies, being who he is. Would she know? Now, Bulma wasn't prepared for this, nor was she prepared for hearing that he and Vegeta had had a very polite conversation earlier on. She tells him what she knows, and he simply flies off. Nobody sees him for weeks and weeks on end, which is making everyone quite worried. Now, normally people would be able to find him due to his very unique energy signature, but all this time away, he hid his power to make very sure he wouldn't be found, making almost everyone feel even more distressed, like what happened to him? Almost everyone, except his siblings and Vegeta though. They kind of can guess what he's doing. They deduce what's going on, yeah. Now, after a few weeks, 21 returns accompanied by 2 small creatures resembling him. Thanks to the likes of Mukis over on DeviantArt, who created this fan art, we have a very basic design of what one of them would look like. Suddenly, the gang all sense his power back at the dojo that he built, where he usually hung out, and a lot of them gather around to see him after all these months. His friends and family surround him, pretty surprised by the revelation. Even 17 came by to visit, smirking a bit. "So, these are your sons?" asks Krillin. "Huh, neat." 21 simply smiles. "No, Krillin, my friend. This is my son, Kondra, and my daughter, Maita. I'm sorry that I worried you all so much, but I was just busy showing them the world so that they can decide who exactly they want to be." Kondra and Maita are very shy in front of all these different looking people. They're nothing like their father at all. But
I like that design. That's interesting. That's really cool. I wish I had artistic talent like that. I used to be able to draw some and stuff. I had the patience for it, but I don't even know how I did that back then. I didn't have any formal art training or anything, and I just drew. But I don't anymore, and I don't know why.
But if he's comfortable around these people, they can't be all that bad, right? Now, as Maita shuffles her foot and bows out of respect to Goten and Trunks, Bulma gets a sudden phone call from her security detail back at Capsule Corp. A craft has appeared on the grounds without clearance. A craft that hasn't been around since the days of the Cell Saga. Bulma then looks to 21 and to the others with a very apprehensive expression. Who's going to tell Trunks about 21? "Trunks?" says 21, Maita and Kondra at the same time. But he's right there. They point to the present Trunks, but then Gohan says that they are referring to the future version. Future version? I'm confused. They then realize that they have glossed over this detail. It's time for them to tell the truth about his other self, and this is where we're going to be leaving things for right now.
No!
So what do you guys think?
Damn it.
How is 21 and his family going to help during the
I'll tell you what I think. I'm pissed that you just ended it there. Just getting into it. Damn it. Whatever.
Goku Black arc? Is the very notion something that interests you? Leave a
Yes.
comment below and let's get this discussion going. And I shall see you in the next video. Catch you later.
Peace. Hope y'all enjoyed this reaction. I'm just as irritated as y'all that he ended it there. But anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed this. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, let me know what y'all want me to react to. Peace. I hope y'all enjoyed my reaction. If you like my content, then like and subscribe, please. And follow me on Twitter for video updates. The link will be in the description below. And as always, stay nuclear.